So there was this rumor going around the other day. I saw you quote tweeted it about the Rey Star Wars either trilogy or movies getting canceled, and I got really excited. And now it looks like Lucasfilm said that was just a rumor, and I feel like that sucks because we could have dodged a giant bullet, and I'm sad
Well,
now.
I don't think they would have the guts to remove it now that they've said it's a female directed Star Wars. I don't care what they do. You know, they'll do it and everybody will make money off of it. I don't care. I'll just cash in. I'll watch it. It'll suck. I'll talk about how it sucks. Somebody who's either an MCU fan or super fucking progressive will tell me I'm a bigot, but I'll
Yep.
be laughing all the way to the bank while the progressive eats ramen noodles.
And
Troll
claims that
win.
they're not real fans. You're not a real fan. What do you think it was that, like, if you could do an elevator spill, what do you think it was that just completely killed Star Wars? Because I was a huge Star Wars fan. I even, obviously I was a kid when, Phantom Menace and Clone Wars and Revenge of the Sith came out, and I still think Revenge of the Sith is a solid film, but
I'm gonna have to agree with you. Like the fight scene alone at the end
it's
was like
awesome.
it's godlike compared to what we get now.
They really cared about the choreography. I mean, even in Phantom
Well,
Menace,
George Lucas was involved.
yeah. That the Duel of Fates with Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan and Darth Maul is the greatest shit in the world. I still go back and we'll just watch that whole segment with the other stuff edited out. It's just like the full ass fight. It's so beautiful. And in the new movies, it's like they don't even, like, there's no choreography. They just like hit each other with like the lightsabers, and for some reason no one needs training.
Yeah. You
Unless
know, it's just
Kylo.
bro, I fucking hate Star Wars. And
Yeah.
it's weird for me to say that, and I'm surrounded by Star Wars helmets right now. Like, I have over my head a film cast Darth Vader A&H helmet, and I've decided to start rebuilding a life-size Darth Vader from A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back because that's just who the fuck I am. And I already have a life-size Stormtrooper, but I might do an A&H hero suit. For those who don't know, the hero suit is the one that Luke Skywalker wore and has the lower brow that looks like it's fucking angry Stormtrooper helmet. So I guess I'm still kind of a fan, but I also hate it. So maybe I just hate the new Star Wars because it has no value. It has no meaning. It's now being told by people that have no idea what the fuck the story was about or what it means. They just basically see it as a brand that they can use to be a mouthpiece to push whatever progressive ideal they have. Star Wars has always been inclusive to women. I don't know on what planet that it just all of a sudden didn't exist, but it did. The fact that we have this new activist feminist directing is a real stupid move, in my opinion, because there's no way in hell she's going to tell a story that we're actually interested in.
No.
And it's hard to get excited anymore. It's kind of like you hear Star Wars is coming out, and before it used to be like it was an event. Remember the lines that used to be for the
God,
Phantom Menace shit?
yeah.
Like they were blocks long. There are people dressed up as Star Wars characters. It was a fucking party in a scene. Now, like you hear Star Wars is coming out, and you're like, God, I wish that shit would just go the fuck away. Like just
Yeah.
stop.
It's
Ugh.
it's so weird how different everything was. I remember going to see like the Phantom Menace and Clone Wars and Revenge of the Sith, and there's just lines of people around the theater. Everybody's dressed up,
There's
and
positive vibes, dude.
yeah, and it was like everybody was like talking about different Star Wars stuff, and they would have like stuff with them, like old memorabilia. And then it was this old theater that was just one building that had like two screens, and everybody's just lined up out the back to see Star Wars. It was just, and then everybody, even when you like, even watching the Phantom Menace, when you watched it in theaters, everybody's like leaving and like buzzing, trying to justify that they actually like the film. But it was just, it was an event. And it was an event back then with video games, completely unrelated. Like when you went to
Yeah,
midnight
Battlefront 2
releases.
came out, and that shit
Yeah.
was like Battlefront 1 and 2 was like the game to
Gosh.
play.
Yeah.
It was the game.
Yeah. And they were these giant releases at GameStop at midnight, and everybody's showing up. Everybody's dressed up.
Everybody's having fun.
You know what? There's just no passion. It's
No.
like there's zero passion. And the people that are producing the content also have zero passion. Everything they make is an allegory for some weird political or social movement. It's so
Well, they want to control the cultural zeitgeist, and they're trying to do it through movies, film, television. They want to control how we speak so they can control how we think. And it's not exactly going as they planned because people are pushing back. People are tired. People are bored. People aren't interested in this. The whole point of entertainment is escapism. And for some reason, they don't want you to escape ever. And frankly, now is more of a time to escape than ever. We're on the edge of another world war. Buying a house literally means you have to have $100,000 in your pocket.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, I have some fucking progressive asshole trying to dress me down because I like a male fantasy. Well, fuck you, buddy. You better believe I have a male fantasy. Fie on me for wanting to escape the misery that is my life. If you're a heterosexual male today in America, and if you're white, God forbid, good luck with that. Thank God I'm brown. I get a little bit of a pass, but not much. You need to escape. Dating sucks. You make no money. Food's expensive. Gas is expensive. Everywhere you turn, you're somehow the problem. And meanwhile, you just woke up today and you barely took a shit. And somehow the world's issues fall on you. Fuck me if I want to see a Star Wars film where Luke Skywalker is actually a good guy. How fucking rude of me. We need to put the focus on women. In fact, let's have fat female Jedis. We need absolute inclusivity. You know what we need? We need transsexual, non-binary Jedis in order for there to be true gender parity. Because Lord knows those people would fight at the drop of a hat to save someone, right?
Yeah, as long as somebody tweeted about it.
Yes, internet warriors.
As long as they get a little taste of that clout. And there's a way you could include certain things without making it just overt. The whole point that's annoying for me is how overt everything is. Like,
it's in your face.
You could, like, for example, a good example of how they did it decent was Evil Dead Rise. The movie was all right, but there was a trans character, and there was obviously, like, the other daughter was gay. And they never even mention it, kind of. It's just they both just brutally die. Just brutally die. And they never elaborate. Like, there's not that one scene where somebody says a thing and they're like, of course you're saying that. It's hard for me being a trans person in this country. Like, they never had that scene where they have to overtly say that, well, I'm a blah, blah, blah. Of course you're going to blah, blah, blah. Where they have to say what they identify as and do all these things and then shame down a person that's saying something to them about
the usual thing that you see on almost every Disney movie now, where there's like this dressing down of somebody because of their privilege.
Yep. It's oh God, don't leave it's the moment I like to call the don't leave a man to do a woman's job moment, where they have it's like a woman and a guy fails at his mission and he's all muscly and has guns and shit, and she's like, oh, don't let a man do a woman's job. And then she goes out and starts fist fighting and beating people's ass. And I'm like, this is lame. I'm tired of this moment in movies. It's like the only moment you would have that's better is if she put a slick red dress on and went and tempted the enemies and manipulated them. Because that's what women can do. They did it in James Bond films for years. They just put on a red dress.
Lord knows, dating, you've been tempted by some chick who's gotten you to do stupid shit.
Oh, yeah.
You know, this conversation just made me realize I totally forgot to add something in my Echo review where she's doing the fight scene in the boxing ring with that dude and she's beating him up.
Yeah.
I forgot to edit that scene in and then flip to this female pro boxer that fought an amateur male boxer and she got knocked the fuck out so fast.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. Fuck.
People don't realize, people like you've been to the gym, you've been involved. You know, I go to the gym. People don't realize, especially normies, like, and I don't mean that in a negative way, but people think, because I've had people in the chat yell at me over this shit. I'm like, you can take a male that doesn't train, doesn't do anything, and put them in the ring with a woman that is a trained fighter, and the guy will likely win. Because it's the sheer difference
in strength,
in physical attributes. A man can go to the gym right now, a normal man, on average, and they can bench a plate. My buddy Karras, we were talking about this the other day at Daytona. He was at Daytona with me, and we went to the gym, and he benched a plate. And he doesn't, do heavy lifting. He doesn't, he's not really super in it as far as benching and stuff. And he did a plate. First try, do a plate immediately. I've been training girls for years that can't get past 25s. Now imagine a girl that doesn't work out, can't do a bar. The guy that doesn't work that exercise is doing 135 pounds. A girl can't even do 20. Now, what if the guy is involved in any type of weightlifting or training, and he's going up against this woman? She's dead. She's dead. It's like,
so you're telling me Brie Larson is not an absolute physical specimen.
Well, her toes are. Those things are fucked. Looks like somebody freaking hit him with a hammer for like 2 hours.
You do have a point. I used to date. One of my living girlfriends was like a gym rat, completely fit. She had abs, the whole 9 yards. She was fit like a dude at that point because she wanted to become a female bodybuilder. And I remember she started wrestling me once, and I just didn't care because I don't care. And she's like, "Look how weak you are because you quit going to the gym." And I'm like, I'm just letting you win because I don't care. And she goes, "Oh yeah, prove it." So I overpower her and pin her down with not that much effort. And she starts screaming, "How the fuck are you still stronger than me?" And I'm like, "I'm a dude."
Yeah, you're a lion, bro. I dated a girl that was freaking jacked. Now her deadlift was very impressive. She was on some shit though, but she could deadlift 385 like for reps. She's pretty strong. But for bench, she could barely get a plate. And she was jacked as a woman. She was freaking a monster. Now she
The
wasn't.
real question is, did she have an oversized clit that looked like an undersized cock?
Yeah. And
okay,
dude, it was like she was pouring like a faucet though. If you even rubbed up against her, she was like pouring like a faucet. It's crazy. But no, she would do a plate on bench and a plate in like a 5 and get like 1 or 2 reps. And I can bench 405. And I don't even take gear. I can just bench 405. Like bench is my lift. It's my favorite lift. And there's not that's more than like the records, and especially in the weight class that would be considered mine. I would have the world record right now as a woman.
Oh yeah, I think Zuby did that shit, didn't he?
He did. Yes. So yeah, if there's not a woman on this planet, I don't care how especially the ones in movies that weigh 105 pounds and they're like fist fighting dudes that are 250 pounds, bro, he ain't feeling that shit. It's gonna annoy him like a bug bite. I'm sorry. He gonna slap you once and you're dead.
You're telling me Echo with her fake foot can't kick someone in the head and knock them clean out?
No. Well, in a Disney show, yes. Because she's powerful, she's strong, and kind of looks like a foot.
Yeah, they like the comic Echo is really attractive. The TV show Echo does look like your standard fare Native American woman you meet on a res. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, I don't know what this war on hot women is. It's so strange.
Only in America.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I love a lot of like Korean shows, and there's like Japanese shows like Borderlands. Loved that. All of Us Are Dead, I think was what the other one was called, and movies from that area, like South Korean films. Every woman's just beautiful. They're just beautiful.
Well, South Korea, like it's kind of unfair in the sense of the South Koreans are so used to plastic surgery, like everybody gets it. That's why they're all in debt.
Yeah. It's
kind of wild.
It's wild to me. And then you turn on a movie that's based in America, and like every woman is either fat or awful looking.
Or very annoying.
Always. Like there's some people that could argue Brie Larson's attractive. I don't really find her attractive. It might just be her personality, to be honest.
Brie Larson's like, all right, like she's looked good enough as a black dress once. It's like you have to ignore her feet and her personality, and you have to catch her when she's on the red carpet.
Oh.
But if like she's not on the red carpet, then she's a total gassed up mid.
Yeah. If you saw her get out of the shower and she has like a towel on and she's walking around her house, she'd look like a little monster.
Yeah, you wouldn't be like fucking dizzy from the blood flow to your pants. That's for sure.
Yeah. I think 25-year-old Jennifer Lawrence could have done that.
I don't even remember what the fuck she looks like.
When the fappening happened and all those nudes of her dropped.
Can we get that a photo up? But not like the nudes.
She looked great. There was not a.
I've heard of the fappening, but I didn't know what it's about.
Yeah, it was just a bunch of celebrities. Their iClouds got hacked, so like tons of celebrities' nudes got released. And
this annoying chick.
She had like 1 billion released, and her everything. Her vagina looks great. Her ass looks great. Her midsection looks great. Her boobs look great. Her shoulders look great. Her face looks great. I'm like, damn, girl.
That's probably how she keeps getting work then.
Yeah, because she finds every Weinstein possible and lets him dump a load.
Yeah,
which is fine. I mean, that's shit. I'd probably do that. Fuck it. I don't have a problem with that. I know how the game works.
I'm gonna say like I'm not overly attracted to her unless like she's covered in makeup.
But that's every girl.
I'm not sitting there saying like I'm some hot dude though. It's like I think I'm just reaching this point of jaded where it's just kind of like I don't care. Like a woman has to jump through hoops to get me remotely interested these days.
Yeah, that's kind of how it is, actually, isn't it? Like I've noticed that I've had opportunities arise over and over, and I'll choose to just stay home.
Yeah,
I'll be like,
it's too much hassle.
I'm gonna make a fire. I'm going through the Hobbit movies that I don't even really care about because I just watched Lord of the Rings, and now I have to go through the fucking Hobbit films, which aren't even that good, but I have to do it. And I'm just sitting beside the fire and have a girl text me. She's like, "Hey, you should come over. We should hang out." And I'm just like, "I know I'm doing something on YouTube tonight," and I'm not. So
yeah, it does seem like it's the season for ex-girlfriends to come up and see where you're at in life.
Oh, they brutal with my ass because 4 years ago I was working a dead end job. And now I'm like put on my Facebook. I'm like, hey, making my first NASCAR start, Daytona. These girls are like, what the fuck's happening? I'm like, yeah, bitch. What'd you do this for? You fucked up.
I deleted all my social medias the second I started getting some sort of traction on YouTube because I knew ex-girlfriends would come looking for me.
Not even that. I've had that happen, but I've also had like people. I had a guy message me from like middle school. I haven't seen, and he asked to be my manager.
Why?
And this was recently, by the way. This wasn't like at the beginning.
Did he at least have like a PowerPoint or anything?
No, he
Nothing.
just said, he was like, we should work together. I can like manage and blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay.
Like, what do you manage? Did you have any questions?
I don't think I responded actually. No, I didn't respond. He messaged me like a few months prior and just said, hey, I noticed you're doing good on YouTube. Congratulations. And I was like, oh, thanks, man. And then he messaged me and said, hey, let's work together. I'll be your manager, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, I didn't. I just didn't respond. And that dude messaged me like the next day and was just freaking the fuck out. He's like, you're a piece of shit. Your content's terrible. Like, you're fucking fat and all this random shit. And I was like, what the fuck?
That is not how you get a job.
Yeah. So I screen capped it and just posted to Facebook because all of his mutual friends were like probably my mutual friends. He's come from high school. And I posted that screenshot on Facebook and lit his ass up. It was the greatest shit ever.
Rule number 1 in the 48 Laws of Power: never outshine the master.